everyone. Happy Friday and welcome. Welcome to the podcast, The Coaches Next Door. My name is Ligia Koijen Ramos, and I'm a philosopher and I'm a coach, and I'm basically very enthusiastic about neuroscience, and I'm also a leadership mentor. And in this particular episode, and because we got to Friday, and of course, I always bring a topic on Friday that, yeah, was a little bit of the trend for the week. And the trend for this week was about decisions and how to make sure that we are taking the right decisions in the right time. And don't get me wrong, but this affects everyone from CEOs to more creative people, from entrepreneurs until anyone that is just, deciding where to go and what street to take. So decisions is really part of our life. The most part of the times we don't really get the notion what, first of all, what is impacted, and what is, yeah, let's say, the impact of our decisions. We are also not really aware where decisions are coming from. So we end up going for a lot of beliefs and a lot of myth driven things and thoughts. So I thought that maybe it was a great thing to, break down a little bit on how can we know when is the right time to make a big decision. When is that, and what do I need to pay attention to, and what can I, pull in and pull out to get the best decision, and in the right time. And this is incredible because, like you can imagine, I see a lot of times people in this big moment of taking, big decisions, like launching a business, making a career change, um, sometimes even saying yes to something, to an opportunity, to a person, to a situation. And sometimes a big part of this is also, the decision in terms of relationships. What is the right time for me to go or not to go for this type of relationships? Um, so the thing is that we have a lot of buzzing around decisions. Some people will say to us, trust your gut, go with your gut. But what exactly that means? And other people go like, no, 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 no. Go for your logic. Do a yes and a no list. And also other people think, oh no, let's more planning you do, more, the more you create a great plan, better you are going to able to decide. And I will say that it's also relevant to understand what is the data that we have right now, what science says about all this, and or also what other spectrum of knowledge say about this, like, neuro linguistic programming. So what is the data that we have right now? Doesn't mean that later we can have different data, but for now, some things we know for now. So maybe we can also use that to improve our capacity of deciding, because that's one of the things that I see as a lot of times the the big trap, is that a decision needs to be made. No one is making the decision, and sometimes it's too late. So the problem is already there, is growing a lot. So sometimes it's really becomes really a problem when we don't get into the right time of a decision and we go for that decision. Okay, so it's not only making the decision in our heads, but it's okay, what that decision also implies and what do I need to do upon that decision. So this episode, I really want to bring all these things together. And again, ask me anything. Ask me what your questions, your doubts, but also share maybe a moment that you thought, oh, okay, I got a decision and was the right timing and was the right decision. So I got also that positive input from a decision. So stay with us and we are going straight into the topic. Yeah. So, one of the things that I want to start with is hello from France. Amsterdam is a beautiful day. How is in France? I hope so. Spring is coming, right? So that's a good thing. One of the things that I would like to start with is this idea that why timing matters. And matters maybe a little bit more than you think. I think sometimes we go like, yeah, it's not about if it's the right time, it's about the right decision, or is never a right time for a decision, right? Like, maybe it is. Maybe it's better times than others to make a big decision. Okay. So the thing is that we also hear a lot about timing is everything, or the right place, the right time. But what this exactly means, and we all know that the research in neuroscience tell us that our brains don't just react to opportunities; they tend to predict them. So we tend our brains tend to see a little bit ahead. Like, if this is the conjecture and the puzzle and the pieces that I have, this could be a possible outcome. So, and and every decision that we have, that we make, sorry, is based on a mix of past experiences, like I saw this before, subconscious process, like something that we cannot sometimes even reach in a very conscious way, and external signals that we get, and we go like, oh, okay, all this together, they can create the sensation. Okay, this is the time to to get to this right decision in the right time. And we have plenty of examples from this. Okay, we can go for the most common ones that maybe you even know, like Steve Jobs. He delaying the launch of the iPhone until the touchscreen technology was perfect. He said, okay, I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to wait until this is there, that I can fully use it. Or, Amazon, they waited until the internet was, on the point for them to scale Amazon, because they knew that if they were doing it at that moment, a lot of mistakes, a lot of interference will be there. So they will not be so successful, because it was a lot of mistakes. And in business, mistakes has a high price. And so these are some examples from business that the decision to wait was made by the idea of the right timing. Okay, but we also have decisions like this in our lives, and sometimes we go like, you know what, I'm going to wait until the right moment is there. And sometimes we do this even, for instance, when we need to talk to someone, right? We go like, yeah, I know that I want to say this, but this is not the right moment or the right environment, or even I don't feel the right way. So this idea that even when we are talking to someone and we want to say something to someone, sometimes we are aware that that is not the right timing, right? So we sustain a little bit what we want to say because we are looking for the right timing. Well, um, I don't know, I ever hear, or even what if we actually create them? I think you are relating with the idea that our brain predicts uh, things. Well, I um, I have an opinion about the brain being a very creative place. What happens is that, yes, sometimes we visualize something and we are in our subconscious already doing things to achieve that. So it's not like our brain is creating that, but our brain promotes the space for us to do that. Yes, I'm going to talk about intuition. I'm going to talk about the gut feeling. And I think it's important to know what exactly that is and when to pay attention and how to pay attention to that. But I'm not a totally believer that the brain is a very creative, but I'm a believer that if we set a visualization, we can sometimes without really realizing we are doing a lot to get that done and to reach that visualization. And sometimes we get the idea that, oh, okay, I visualize it and that's it. And when we break down what happened, we are seeing that people are doing a lot, but in this almost automatic pilot that they are not aware of what they are doing. And that's what we also want to be a little bit more specific, right? We want to know what that decision that I'm taking means. Okay, so the I think now the question is, how do we know we are entering the perfect timing versus the hesitating timing or the hesitating moment? So that's what I would like to dive in, is like, how do we know? How do we know that this is the perfect time? Because sometimes the perfect timing is not logical. You know what I mean? So that means that some moments you're like, I don't know if I'm entering the perfect timing momentum. So because doesn't sound, doesn't look, doesn't feel very logical, but it is the perfect timing. So let's dive in on that one right now. Yes, believe is very powerful. Like Anita is saying. So yes, it's very powerful, and because the belief is going to make the is going to promote that automatic pilot most part of the times, you know. So if you believe, is almost like a permission to your full system to go for it. And even if look, sounds, feels, looks a little bit like you believe in it, so you almost is almost like a permission that you are giving to yourself to say it's okay to do this. You know, that's why beliefs are, yes, dramatically impactful on what we are doing. And like I said, a lot of our decisions are based on our past experiences, and our past experiences are the ones that created a certain type of belief. Okay, so that's why sometimes we talk about limiting beliefs. Okay, because yeah, the decision is always made in considering the past experiences, and if that experience create a belief that is not supporting the decision, we call that a limiting belief. Yes, indeed. So one of the things that is important to know is the science behind the decision making, your brain choices. Okay, so the brain has two basic key players when it comes to decision making. Okay, is the prefrontal, the cortex. This is the logic center because it's the one that learned, the one that goes to the right and wrong, the one that ponders, like puts in the scale of yes and no, thinks also critically, so is going to create questions about what is happening, and also is the one that can produce or calculate risks. Okay, so that is the prefrontal and the cortex. Then we have the limbic system. And this is what we can call, this emotional brain. It triggers feelings and, yeah, guess what? Fear, excitement, and also this intuition. Okay? So what happens is that these two key players, they are always, activated because basically we are taking decisions all the time, even if we don't realize that. Okay, but when you feel this paralyzed thing, when you get to a big decision, okay, when you feel this paralyzed, is just because these two systems are in conflict. Like, okay, my prefrontal is like, in the logic, this makes a lot of sense, but the limbic system is saying no, no, no. So the prefrontal is saying, wait, let's analyze sometimes, and the limbic system is saying, okay, let's act or avoid. So that's how this part of us works, like let's take the action or avoid the action. So this the thing is that sometimes we are really in between these two processes, let's call it like this. And one of the things that we know is that the dopamine levels, they play a massive role on the decision making. When your dopamine is high, you tend to feel more confident and you are more ready to take action. When the dopamine is a little bit low, you tend to, pass that decision to a later moment. And sometimes you even feel, a little bit like, this is not what I'm going to do. So one of the things that when we are in this, I'm talking about big decisions, okay? When we are talking in big decisions, or talking about big decisions, we need to pay attention to where we are coming from in terms of this, chemical aspect of our bodies. If we are feeling and getting, energized and optimist, or if we are already feeling exhausted and anxious. So this will impact your brain chemistry that will directly interfere how you perceived timing. Okay, so even if, for instance, if you know that you will need to take a decision in a couple of days, or even if something there that you're like, okay, I'm not going to take a decision right now, but I need to take a decision in a couple of hours or maximum one day, is beneficial to make sure that you are doing things that amplify your dopamine, because that will give you a different idea of the right timing to take that decision. Okay, so that's one of the things that I want to bring to you, is that taking big decisions, okay, if you can do it for all of them, great, but maybe it's a little bit too much. But in big decisions, making sure that you are in the right emotional state is fundamental. Okay, it's fundamental. And the good thing of this is that we can create that emotional state because we know what our body needs to do. For instance, a quick example. I go, like I already shared with you many times, Friday morning is my day. So my morning, not my day, it's my morning. So I go to my box. I have my personal trainer there. We are outside. I do my exercises. I go out of my head. I work a lot with my body. And the interesting thing is that I come back home and I notice already for some weeks that I get here, I sit down in this office, and I get things done. I get that decision. I go like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the next step, and this is what I want to be doing tomorrow or next week. For instance, today I just decided that I want to change a little bit the website of my company. So I just sent an email and said, this is what I want. So it's so fast. And it's no doubt. It's no like, no, it's no doubt. This is what I want to be doing. So this is a personal example, but I think we all have stories like this, right? I think we all have. But when we are facing moments of big decisions, we tend to forget this, right? We tend to forget, and we just go for this freeze and anxiety and sometimes very big doubts, and we don't need to go there. Or better, will be better not to go there and use all our resources to really make a favor. Use what you have for at your favor. Okay. So the next thing that I would like to tell you is that, yes, like Anita said, the role of intuition. But the question that I get a lot is, can I trust my intuition? I get a lot of people that they like, I felt it, I was there, but how do I know that is really a gut feeling, like is really my intuition kicking in? And if I can trust that. So what that means, what means when someone is saying to you, trust your gut. What your gut is doing, your gut feeling, what it's exactly doing is making a pattern recognition. Okay? So what this means is that your brain stores past experiences, and in your subconscious, it picks up tiny details, things that are not available in your conscious. So you are not aware even the things that you pick up. Okay, because you don't have space for that, so you cannot be with all the information alive. So some of this information goes to a place that is your subconscious, but it stays there. And a lot of times is also details about the environment, So when your gut feeling is, kicking in and saying, hey, I'm here, what basically is saying is that, hey, I got this. I'm seeing some patterns here, and I can give you a prediction of what this could mean. Okay? So it's incredible because when we are, let's say, our subconscious and our conscious together, they can see so much more, they can hear so much more, they can feel so much more. And basically when your gut feeling is showing you something, is just showing you something that it got triggered by. So you can't believe it, because means that is there, means that is getting some information, is seeing more than your eyes, is hearing more than your ears. You know what I mean? So, uh, yes, the subconscious is storing everything, positive and negative. That is the great stuff because it can mix the both information. Yeah. And for instance, if a situation before was what you name it negative, okay, that is also great information. Like, oh, I was in this situation before and was not good. I didn't feel great. I didn't felt great. I had a result that I didn't want it. So it's great that you can assess also those experiences, right? That's why, for instance, I'm not in any favor of cleaning all that stuff because it's also pattern recognition. Okay, so you want to recognize, for instance, situations that before brought danger to you. You want to be able to recognize them. You don't want to, put them away, if that is even possible. But so you don't want to delete that from your experiences because can be very useful. Okay, so. Oh, let me. I lost a question here. Do you think that I'm going to put it here for everyone to see? Do you think that our own brains are so stimulated with create stimulus that we deplete our dopamine levels really quickly each day and then struggle to find? I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think that some people can enter this reality like is so much and not intentional, you know what I mean? So the dopamine, the stimulus doesn't come with an intention. It's so random that yes can bring some overwhelming, and then when we want to create it intentionally is not possible anymore, or at least we need a huge dose. So that's why I believe that we need to be very intentional in all the triggers that we give to ourselves. That's why, for instance, my personal example, I'm not saying that you need to do this, but my personal example is that I don't see movies, I don't see news. I choose the news that I want to reach out. I don't scroll around social media. I don't expose myself to radical experiences. um, I don't expose, so I don't buy a ticket for a roller coaster. Sometimes they come to me and they happen to me, of course, like anyone. But I'm not going to pay for that, for instance. So yes, awareness on the intention is crucial. Otherwise, can be that when you is the same thing with paracetamol. If you always take paracetamol for the minimum pain that you have, guess what? The next time you need a bigger dose, because one moment is going to, lose effect. Is like that with everything, okay? With everything in your life. If you expose yourself without a clear intention, will happen that with everything. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right? So we need to become more intentional as well. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm moving too fast. Please let me know. One of the things that we use a lot to support when people, for instance, need to take a big decision, and it's two techniques of the neuro-linguistic program that can really help you, and one of them is the future pacing technique, and the other one is the meta position strategy. So what this means that um, the future pacing, we use this even when, for instance, we do an exercise and we want the person to see the future when they start applying that. Okay, so it's really taking the person to a future self. So basically this is very simple to do. You just close your eyes, you imagine these two versions of yourself, one who made the decision and one that didn't made the decision. And or say was, yes, I will do this. No, I will not do that, because not doing it is still a decision. But one went and the other one stayed without, was a no to that decision. And when you see these two persons, you get immediately, most part of the times people get the immediate sensation, who is the person that is looking at them, who is the person that makes them feel better, who is the person that they see in the future that they want to be. This is what a future pace could look like. And then you can help yourself to say, okay, go 6 months after this in each one of the scenarios. Go 6 months after and continue if what feels more aligned with you. Of course, sometimes for people, this exercise to do them by themselves can be a little bit tricky, but you can record it. You can record it for yourself and then hear it. But if you need help, ask someone to do this for you. You don't need a lot of training to do a thing like this, because it's you that needs to feel, okay, what feels more aligned and what I go more. Some people, it's so beautiful, because some people even move. They go, like, they move themselves for one side or the other, and they feel like, oh, I feel really, this chord calling me to this part or to that part. Is beautiful. But the intention here is to feel, okay, what feels more aligned, what position, what person feels more aligned. Okay. Then the meta position strategy, you can imagine already what this is, right? Is this idea that people that are outside of the problem or outside of the situation that needs a decision, they know better, because they have this meta position. They are not impacted by emotions, they are not biased. So they, look to the decision very cold, and like, oh, okay, if I see this and this and this and this, and they tend also, because they are meta, so they are a little bit further away, they see more of the impact of that decision, so they tend to be more able to see the consequences, what this means, what do you need to be doing. It's almost like getting a best friend for yourself that is yourself. I always like this idea, right? Yesterday I was writing that. I'm writing every morning. I decided to start that like a month ago, I think, not even, maybe. So every morning I write 3 pages without, and the only rule is that I cannot take the pen from the paper. So, even if like, oh, I continue writing. And became a really good experience, because became my best friend, the friend that I needed, the friend that I wake up, because I do this in the morning before even my breakfast. So, and I expose, how I feel, that how I woke up, what I'm thinking about, and this writing became my best friend, the friend that I don't have by my side, but I'm that best friend because I'm writing, and then I can read it. Kind of a way, this meta position is exactly that. Okay, is basically taking you further from the context that needs your decision, and that will allow you to see in perspective. And this is, priceless, because you are going to see timing a little bit more objectively, because you are not anymore involved. So you are willing and more able to see, okay, this will impact this, and this will impact this. So you go like, oh, okay, now is the right timing, because I want this impact already to happen. Or this is still this impact, I cannot deal with this impact. Okay, so yeah, I need to first create something here or improve something here that can help me to deal with the impact. And this is crucial, because this is timing. Okay, so it's not only about the decision that you are making, but are you able to deal with impact of what you're doing here? Is everything after taken care of? So this is timing. Okay. Um, so I don't know if yeah, journaling is a great exercise indeed. And it's funny because my middle child is also like, oh, maybe I want to start that as well. So I'm happy that she's also realizing that is great. um, so I want to finish for today. um, I want to ask you if this makes sense on the timing. So for you to get the best, of your own decisions, and um, timing is not just luck, is a combination of neuroscience, intuition, and self-awareness. So it's not about, oh, luck. People know that I don't really like the expression good luck because I don't believe in it. I believe that is a combination of things that are happening. It's not luck, it's knowledge. And it's knowledge about, the data that we have, our own knowledge, and self-awareness. It's not magic. It's not magic. Even if sometimes looks like a little bit of a magic point, okay? So pay attention when you are taking big decisions, when you feel that need. First, your brain chemistry affects how confident you will feel about decisions. Pay attention to that. Where is what is happening in your brain chemistry? What are you creating? You know, intuition is powerful, but only when based on some data. Okay, so that is the difference between, is this a desire or this is really intuition? Intuition is reading the room, intuition is reading the environment, intuition is reading the impact. Okay, again, intuition is not magic. It's not. NLP tools can help you to make that to make you clear, what you need to be doing, and to take free, fear-free choices, if you want to say it like that. Okay, so you want to get more free from this emotional triggers. Okay, and it's a challenge. And what I want you to think about is, think of one decision that you are, like, not now, not now, and apply this, do this once, and tell me how that goes, and what happened to you, and what happened in relationship to your decision. Okay, that's the thing. You can you can hear a lot, but if you don't do it, then it's no use. So, last things. If you like this episode, you know what to do. Subscribe, leave us a review, share it with friends. That is the best part of it. And you can also follow me on Instagram. You have my website, my LinkedIn. It's a lot of content going on there. So take it all, use it. And I hope you have a great Friday. We are going to have a weekend with 18 degrees in Amsterdam. What is going to be magical? That is really magical. And I hope you use these techniques, because some decisions are important for you, I'm pretty sure, and you will be much better when you make them. Take care of yourself. Love. Have a good weekend. Thank you.